This is Oscar Bevis for the Stomping Ground, powered by Wow Hydrate and available on DAZN. I'm with the man himself, the brains and the looks behind Misfits. Mams Taylor, how are you, my friend?
Very nice and kind introduction, kinder than my missus is towards me.
Kinder than Callers towards you?
Yeah, a little bit.
Dublin, I said this to Calla, it's never not going to be a little kick in the balls when KSI can't fight because he is the superstar of all superstars in this space. But he's performing. Danny Aaron's versus Danny Simpson is a brilliant replacement. This place in here is going to be loud on Saturday night.
It's going to be nuts. And look, I think Calla said it best when he said, look, how many boxers can say, all right, look, I'm not going to be able to fight, but I'm going to put out some new music, play a couple of my old tunes that you're familiar with, and we're going to add some different fights and whatnot. And you know, I think it's been it's got a fun atmosphere about it. It's got a fun feel. This press conference felt fun. It felt a little bit retro as well. You know, like what Misfits is about, new faces. And I'll tell you what, Saturday night there's some real potential superstars. Who's going to solidify that and become that next superstar? There's definitely potential options there. I was really impressed with Sami Ahmed on the mic as well.
Such good energy.
Great energy. Yeah. Really stole the show for me, and HS and obviously Danny Aaron's as well. And having a Premier League winner, champion in our ring is just the beginning of a taste of things to come, because we've got lots of diversity from different areas. Movie stars are hitting me up, you know, we got rappers, we got, there's a lot of fun surprises to come.
Yeah, well, I was speaking to Danny, done a really good 20 minutes with him earlier. Good character, nice, kind, and with a good backstory as well. He said he's already had messages from other ex-Premier League footballers, and I'm talking big names. That are like, yeah, this is what I want to do now. So Danny is perhaps a little bit of a key in unlocking some future massive Misfits fights.
I think so, and that's what it is. You've got to, people aren't sure until they, you know, and then they see one of their mates or someone that they know from the same profession doing it and having a good time, and you know, and being received well, and I think that encourages them a lot.
Yeah. A really, like you said, retro was probably the perfect word for it in terms of the press conference, considering it's been 2 years of Misfits now. But before we talk about those 2 years, a bit of face-off carnage as well. That HS and George Fensom face-off seemed to last for about a minute. They were just rolling around on the floor. I know people will say it's ugly scenes and whatever, but we can't deny that has left everyone with the taste for Saturday night.
Come on, it's a good
It's
time.
a fact.
And yeah, of course. And look, I don't want anyone to get hurt. We don't want anyone to get injured. But at the end of the day, emotions run high, and this is what it is. It's Misfits, baby.
Yeah. 2 years of Misfits, how do you reflect?
I think...
Can you reflect?
Oh, God.
Without spending 5 hours talking about it?
In a nutshell, I'll tell you this. I've learned so much in such little time, and the more I learn, the more I realise that I know fuck all, right? So I'm always learning. We're always growing as a company. We're always open to ideas, and look, there's been mistakes that have been made along the way from all of us, and there's been some amazing things that have happened along the way as well. It's just an exciting thing to be doing and to be creating, and I'm so grateful for it, honestly, from the bottom of my heart. When people tell me after a show, Mams, I had so much fun, I had such a good night, I'm so inspired to box, I'm so inspired to lose weight, stuff like that, that's the most rewarding thing. That takes me away from hanging out with my animals on my ranch. This is the one thing.
Although hanging out with the animals on the ranch is a pretty cool pastime.
Bro, I love it so much. I hate leaving them, but it's got to be worth the reward, because listen, you get smashed up on Twitter on a daily basis, right? Like, there's always negativity. You become immune to it. You've got, you know, it's not the most it's basically, it's not the most rewarding job in terms of not validation, maybe in terms of the way that people receive you, or maybe don't have the gratitude for the time and effort you put in. So you have to find that in something else, and that is the reward for me when people are on a high and they've enjoyed something that we've been creating and working hard on. It feels really good to have that.
Yeah, and you can only ask the people who've been to a Misfits event about how good it is, not just watching it on TV, but actually coming. to find out the real experience of what Misfits is about?
It's always a really fun atmosphere. It's always a really friendly, good atmosphere. People have a good time, and yeah, that is the Misfits audience for sure.
Yeah. Would I be right in presuming that your favourite Misfits moment has to be Prime Card?
No, it was my worst. That was,
I mean, I suppose result-wise, but when you talk about the satisfaction of putting on an event, looking at the interest around Prime Card, I mean, that was one of the most hectic, enjoyable fight weeks I think I've ever had.
yeah, fight week was really, really enjoyable and fun, and I think it went well. Fight night, not so much for me. I'm not just talking KSI. To be honest, a lot of things that night were really stressful. Talking from a personal experience, yes, in terms of an achievement, it was amazing, and we're going to top that. 100% we will top that. But otherwise, what's the point, you know? And for me, that's the thing, that's the challenge, and but personal enjoyment-wise, yeah, there's definitely other ones. But yeah, it was something to be proud of for sure.
Yeah. If you could give me one sort of left field show, one that people might not go, oh, actually, Misfits, I don't know, 8, Misfits 9. Was there one show that people might not think that you were like, yes, this for me was one of my most enjoyable?
That's a really tough one. I've enjoyed most of them. Different levels. When KSI doesn't fight, I have a much better time. You know.
But we don't.
Yeah, exactly.
We have a better time
exactly.
when he fights.
So yeah. But no, I've enjoyed it a lot. I think the York Hall one was a lot of fun for me as well. A lot of knockouts, a good time. But yeah. And the last one as well. I love when Elle fought Paige as well, and I think Elle fighting is I'm really big on Elle right now, and I think she could be a massive star as well. She did some massive numbers for a non-pay-per-view against Paige. She's fighting again September 14th against another pro fighter, and watch this space with her. She's got a bright future.
Yeah, there's loads of potential stars coming through. I know it was a talking point up on the stage. Could you perhaps pinpoint another 2 or 3 who you think, yeah, give me a year, give me 18 months, and I would have moulded them and watched them fight, and they will be our superstar?
If Julie Poker learns to speak English, she can box.
She's brilliant.
Yeah, she can actually box, especially off her back foot. She's really got a lot of potential. She's beautiful, she's funny, she's charming, but you've got to speak English to connect with the audience on the next level, you know? And I think that whether you like it or not, I'm gonna get a little bit deep here. This is the absolute truth. People want to see entertainment. If you're a brilliant boxer and you have zero personality, you're not going to go as far as you can if you're an average boxer who has a brilliant personality. And it's the same that applies to the UFC and other combat sports organizations as well. Listen, Matt Brown, not picking on him, amazing MMA, former UFC fighter. He was so tough, man. But do you know who he is? Do you?
Oh, no. Actually asking me, no, I don't. I'm not a UFC mixed martial arts man.
Fair enough. But
he fits the mould of...
That's what I'm saying.
It could have been higher profile.
Well, this is the thing. I think in today's day and age, in music, in boxing, in any combat sport, in any sport really, if you're in the world of entertainment, you have to learn to be entertaining. And how do you do that? You basically, you be yourself, but you've got to be comfortable being yourself and sharing and extending that part of yourself with people. Yeah. And if that connects and you can back it up in the ring, then you've got it. So I think Julie is one really long-winded answer to your question.
No, it's nice from a man who knows all about entertainment.
Well, HS Tiki Toki.
It makes sense. Yeah.
If that guy dedicates proper time and becomes disciplined, he will beat Jake Paul within a year. He will then go further. Wow. You know.
So KSI versus HS then becomes the biggest fight in influencer boxing.
They train at the same gym, so you know. Listen.
That means we know that means nothing.
Listen.
Not in this space anyway.
Well, you're stirring now. Yeah, you know, I think anything's possible, but I'm big on HS as well, and a few others. So, yeah. Salt Pappy, listen, if Salt Pappy makes his return, you know, he's won 2 in a row now after a couple of losses. He was on a really fun trajectory. He's another one. Dean the Grey, Slim. You know, we've got some good talent there. Let's see where it progresses.
Yeah. Absolutely. Thanks for giving me some of your time, Mams.
Of course.
I will ask you one more question. KSI's next opponent, is it someone you have in mind?
Yes.
Or are you guys still searching?
We're having a few conversations.
Okay. And he said Q1.
Yes.
Next year when he's back in the ring. Okay.
So
announcement soonish, or
let's see what happens. But there's definitely some real conversations happening with some guys that he's going to be 100% known as an underdog again.
Wow. Okay. What a place to leave it, Mams. Appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Cheers.